Hi, thank you for your inquiry, requesting a reading from me. And I'm so sorry it took so long for me to get to it. But so many things were going on, and it was retrograde last week, Mercury retrograde, and I really wasn't up to doing too much. But I woke up this morning with my intentions on taking care of this for you. So I decided I was going to basically do it in two parts. First part was going to be about your inquiry about your ex. All right. And based on the information that you gave me, this is what I was led to do. And this is different because I've never been led to do a reading like this before, but I think it might be interesting. Okay. So based on the information you gave me, you are Sagittarius and your partner is a Libra. Based on your birth dates, you are two. Two talks about patience, talks about enjoying the present moments, but also evaluating your life, clarifying your dreams. It talks about taking your time, pacing yourself, asking the divine to establish order in your relationships, and then surrender the outcome to the universe. And this is not only in your career, this is in your home life and your love relationships. Ask that divine order be established in all facets of your life, and then turn it over to the Creator with patience. And I know that you're seeking clarity and that you're trying to get everything organized and doing things in order so you are in alignment with what you should be doing. For your ex, he is a Libra. The number I got based on his information was a 9. 9 talks about completions. 9 talks about letting go of things that no longer serve you or relationships that you may have outgrown. 9s talk about ancestral guidance and protection, and it talks about karmic lessons. Now, together, the two of you are an 11, right? Because 9 and 2 equals 11. And this is about individuality. All right, so this is saying that you and he, together and separately, are people who are trying to be true to themselves. Okay, that you speak your truth despite what other people may think, and that you are reclaiming your own personal powers and not following the crowd. This is talking about pleasing yourself, developing your individuality, and being willing to do things outside of the box, not worrying about what other people are going to say or think. So that was what I started to go with. All right. Now, the next thing Spirit led me to do was to look at the tarot, regular Rider-Waite deck, and see what cards fell for your numbers, right? So for the two of you together, which was an 11, in the Rider-Waite deck, 11 is justice. 11 is also every one of the pages. A page of swords, which is communication. A page of pentacles, which is about money and stability, material goods. Page of Wands, which is about passion, getting things done. Um, Making plans, thinking about things, and putting action behind those thoughts. And the Page of Cups, which talks about love, family, relationships, those that you care for. But these are young energies. These are maybe not so mature, maybe awkward energies. Okay. So this could be a love that might have been a youthful love. Maybe it wasn't as developed as it may have been later. These are communications. Maybe immature communications. May have been miscommunications. Communications that maybe today would have been different. Maybe the finances weren't where they are now. Not that you didn't have money and not that you weren't working, but it was starting. I'm getting starting to save, starting to work, starting to try to find yourselves, going to school, college maybe. I don't know how long you all have known each other when you all got married, but again, these are immature energies. But justice, fair, fair play, honesty, doing the right thing. So perhaps your relationship, as it stands now, where it is now is where it's supposed to be. But you did say that you were having dreams about him. And I would say that because together you all are 11, and this is a master year, 2018 reduces to an 11, that maybe you may want to revisit the relationship. Give it one more chance. That may be the justice that is needed here. Maybe there's some closure that you all didn't have that you need to have. I got the sense that you all are friends or were friends during the relationship. Like you all found, even if you argued, you all found ways to communicate with each other and that you all felt free to express yourselves to one another. That's based on characteristics of Libra and Sagittarius in relationship with each other. You reduced to a 2, as I said, because your numbers came to 11. So you're an 11, and together you all are 11. And this is an 11 year. So that may be why you're thinking about him. And as I said, you may want to revisit it if you feel like it, or get closure on some things, if that's a possibility. I don't know what his status is, but that may be why you're thinking about him, is because your relationship was an 11 and this is an 11 year. And you are an 11 person, but again, I reduced it to 2 because um, that's what it reduces to normally. But because this is an 11 year, I wanted to also bring the 11 part out to you, to your attention. But again, nines talk about ancestral messages. It talks about ancestral protection and completion. But maybe the completion is the two of you complete each other. That creates that 11. That creates that justice. Now, going back to what Spirit had led me to do this morning, I looked to see what showed up as 2s in the tarot for you and looked up what showed up as 9s in the tarot for him. For you, tarot is the high priestess. This is about knowledge. This is about knowing things. This is about spirituality and religion. This is about knowing secrets, knowing what you know without knowing it. Two of Swords is about making a decision, trying to be objective or not sure, which is why you're making a decision, because you're not sure. You have choices. But the blindfold here is like the blindfold of Lady Justice that we use in the court systems, right? So that means being objective. So maybe you're a person that tries to make objective decisions. 2 of Wands is about looking out and seeing what else there is. Excuse me. What else there is for me? What is out in the world? What is my path? Which is what you are inquiring about. Searching for answers. 2 of Cups. Offering and receiving love from someone. Someone who you feel is your life partner, your soulmate. Someone that you want to grow with, someone that you want to blend with. A love that will heal. A love that brings balance. And 2 of Coins. Making decisions, juggling your career and your life. Trying to keep things on an even keel. Trying to do what is expected without dropping the ball. Keeping your options open while you try to figure it out. Not making any sudden moves in regards to your career. Weighing things out to make a decision about your career. Now for your ex, as I said, he was a 9. And in the Rider Waite Tarot, a 9 is a hermit. This talks about seeking inner guidance, looking for the correct path, thinking, a lot of introspection, putting the knowledge that you gain or he gains towards pushing himself further, towards guiding himself towards the destiny, the light that he carries are the experiences that he's already had. And he's using those experiences to guide him as he tries to find the answers, as he tries to go forward. The experiences of the ego that are protecting and guiding him, that's leading him. But these are both very thoughtful energies. These are people who are searching. Well, this is searching for your spirituality, and this is knowing and being in touch with your intuition and your spirituality. He's following his intuition also, but it's based on his experience and his knowledge, more logical. This is being comfortable with relying on your spirituality and your intuition to guide you and to inform who you are as a person, to um, be guided towards your higher self. Sagittariuses are very philosophical, very spiritual, and they do things based on how they feel a lot of the times, but also their intellect. So that is a good match with the Hermit, actually. Even though Sagittarius is really like, let's get going. Okay, I made a decision, let's go. But you being a 2, again, you have patience. And a person with patience definitely would work well with the Hermit. 9s, again, him, talks about regret, sleepless nights, a lot of worries, frustrations, agonizing over decisions that they have to make or decisions that they feel are being made that they have no control over. Nine of Wands, somebody that feels like they have to keep their guard up. All right. That even though they may have been victorious in the battle, they don't know what's coming next. And so they're trying to make sure that they keep themselves protected so as to avoid any further hurt. Nine of Cups talks about getting your wishes fulfilled. This is about your dreams and your hopes. This is a happy outcome. Putting your wishes out there, putting positive energy out there, and expecting to get your wishes fulfilled. A happy ending. Waiting for that one more cup that's going to make it a 10, the happily ever after. But this is just about there. And with your 2 of Cups, that would make it 11. That would be a divine love if it were available to him. And this is Nine of Pentacles. This is about independence and stability, comforts, being comfortable with the things that they have acquired so far, having enough, but still being alone. So this is someone who is a loner, and this is someone who's a loner. Successful, but not feeling the passion that they may have once felt. So the other thing that I was led to do about you all was to look up and see what were the energies for the for your astrological sign based on the inner child cards. And you were the guardian angel, and he was the Midas touch, and his card was an 11, just so you know. The guardian angel. So this is nurturing. This is teaching lessons and protecting. This is similar to the Temperance card, which is a sign of Sagittarius, looking for balance, fair play, justice. And the Midas touch is someone who has the ability to make money, but maybe while they're earning, while they're building their empire, they lose the connections with those people who brought them happiness, personal happiness. So their personal relationships may be strained by their desire to obtain the comforts. All right. So maybe they are workaholic, or maybe they're doing things that may be a little shady that may have caused you to back away from this relationship. There's a connection here that is beyond a marriage license or a divorce decree. The two people who feel a genuine connection to one another, for whatever other reasons you all departed, I think that if you wanted to give it a second chance after counseling and prayer, spiritual work, inner work on both of you, that it could be possibly midnight. Don't jump up here. You're going to get hurt. Hi, Mama. It possibly could be a positive outcome. So, as to why you have been dreaming about him lately, it's because your relationship is an 11 relationship and this is an 11-year, and you all have a vibe that goes that spans time and space and whether or not you all together. So basically it's like you're in a twin flame and separation type of a situation. But you've already tried it with him. And you may be like, oh no, but I don't think that you're so adverse to it, because if you were, you wouldn't have asked. You would have just said, well, whatever, and move on. But I think this is an important relationship and that you could revisit it. Let's see. I wasn't going to do this, but I'm being led now. I'm going to um, see if I can get a romance angel cards for you guys and see if there are any messages that you all could employ, some advice you could employ, rather, some messages for you in regards to this relationship. Libra's about balance, and Sagittarius is about balance too. That's the sign, right? That's your card in the Rider-Waite deck. Okay, so thank you, spirits. In regards to my client, what messages does she need going forward in regards to her relationship with her ex, the Libra, the ex-husband? Thank you, Spirit. Can we get some messages from the romance angels about this? Oh, attraction. So there is still some attraction, apparently, between the two of you, or at least for you. Again, this talks about enjoying this moment fully, which again is part of being patient. Engagement. Your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. Again, maybe you need to talk. Maybe you need to engage in conversation with him. Find out how he's doing. I don't know when's the last time you've spoken to him, or if you speak to him at all. Okay, well, I wasn't meaning to get all of this, but okay. Oh, wow. Huh. Amazing. Okay, so the cards that came here for you was you deserve love, playfulness, true love, and worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. Again, I implore you, based on these cards, that you need to ask your ancestors, ask the Creator to establish divine order in regards to this relationship with you and this ex-husband, because I see that there's still attraction and that this is your true love. To recapture your romance, allow your inner youth spirit of fun to shine, playfulness. Yeah, maybe you need to revisit this relationship. Maybe you need to do some flirting with him and see whether or not he's open to it. If he's available to you, I don't know. If he's not involved in another relationship. But if he's available, or if he's showing any interest at all, I'm I'm getting the feeling that Spirit is saying that you should definitely go for it. Definitely go for it. I think you all had a good connection, and for whatever reason, maybe you need to be individuality, whatever, caused you all to separate. But you've been apart for 7 years. 7 is a divine number, right? Because according to the Judeo-Christian belief system, God, the Creator, took 6 days to create, and on the seventh day he rested, and he said that this was good, right? So maybe you've done your work separately, apart, and so now it's time to reconnect and show each other who you are, where you at now. I would recommend it, as long as it's a safe situation. You know, call him, talk to him, see what he thinks. Run those questions that you gave me about your future and your career. Maybe he'll have some insight for you. I think you trust his judgment. I get that feeling that you trust his judgment and he trusts yours. I don't know what caused the breakup, but there must be something there, and I'm saying that you should explore it. I'm thinking that you should explore it as long as it's safe for you to do so. Then I think you should do that. Okay? So that's going to be, we're going to complete that part of your reading, right? So I'm going to reshuffle these cards and come right back. Mhm. Okay, we're back. Well, I'm back. So, if you're not interested in revisiting a relationship with your ex, I would at least see if you need to reach out. And if you don't want to reach out for whatever reason, then I think that it would do you some good to do some spiritual work. Set up that ancestral altar in your home if you haven't already. If you do have a spiritual order or altar, I would light a white candle and ask for clarity in regards to this relationship. Ask Spirit to reveal to you what are the blockages that may have to do with this past relationship that's keeping you from being able to move forward. I would I would also work on getting a red candle for Elegba, who is the Orisha that opens paths, and he's synchronized with the Archangel Michael, who does open paths also and protects. So perhaps you need to get into the habit of burning a red candle on Mondays and dedicating it to Saint Michael. While I'm shuffling, the Magician came out. This tells me that you already have all the tools you need in order to do the right thing and to be able to handle this situation or any situation that's concerning you about that relationship and about your work and your career. what we're going to do right now is I'm going to do, let's see if we can find out about your work. Okay. So let's see what guidance there would be for you about your work and career. As far as getting your credit bureau, your credit straightened out and paying off student loans, which I can't imagine, is very daunting. You can always go online. There are consumer credit counseling services that you may be able to contact. Some of them are free and some of them charge a fee. And what they do is they make contact with your creditors and come upon a settlement plan so that they may be able to reduce how much you owe, and then you pay the consumer credit counseling service to distribute certain amounts of money every month or week or however you all work it out, and that does start to repair your credit. But you could try it yourself, calling these companies and asking them if there is a way to settle your debt, or to you know, offer them a payoff amount. Sometimes you can work that out with them. Now, I'll tell you this. I had the experience of being a collections administrator years ago for one of the larger banks. And I don't know if this is still the policy or the practice, but somebody was in debt. I was a collector, right? So I'm calling people who are behind in their payments. 3 months, 4 months, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 120 days. After 120 days, it would charge off and be referred to an attorney's office. And then you would be dealing with an attorney, and they do credit bureau reports, like you could be 5 days late and it'll show up on your credit bureau in some banking, depending on who the credit reporter is. There are like 3 of them that these places use. But what I would tell my customers, which was not exactly policy, because they don't want the card holders to know. So let's say you are behind 90 days or 120 days, right? That means you haven't paid your bill for 3 or 4 months in a row. You haven't sent nothing. If you look at your bill, there's still a minimum payment due. And if that is too much, you can go back and see what your minimum payment due was, or you can call them and find out. So and speak to someone, and they could tell you. But this is what I would advise my people to do. Like, okay, so let's say before you started getting into problems, your minimum payment was $50 a month. So now you're behind and now you owe $200. If you make 3 payments of $50, it would bring your account back to current. If the payments were posted every month, on time, consistently for 3 months, your account would go back to being current, and then you would be starting all over again. And then you continue to make those $50 payments and don't do any more spending or charging on that account. That would work for people all over the, I dealt with the Southeast region. So that would be like Virginia down to Florida, right? And let me tell you, people, it was such a relief to some people to know that all was not lost, that there was a way out of the hole that wasn't going to, kill their budgets, and that they were going to be able to clear up a temporary mistake and go forward. And this was without canceling their accounts. I mean, the accounts were closed because it was delinquent, but it wasn't canceled. And I'm saying that could, I don't know for sure, because I'll admit it's been a long time since I was a collections administrator, and who knows what slickness banks have gotten into over time. But that used to work. So if you have credit cards that are behind, you could look to go back to just making your monthly payments that you would have been making. More than likely, they're going to accept it. You may see that after a while, your account becomes current again after 3 months of consistent payments. I would even have customers send me post-dated checks. That's back then. And every month, when the day would come, I would submit that payment for them, and it would get their account back to current 3 months in a row. So I had the 3 checks 3 months in a row, and I knew that on the date that I needed them to be applied, they would be applied, they would clear, and at the end of the 90 days, their accounts would be current again. So that could be a thought of something that you might want to consider. Like I said, the credit counseling services is one thing, and the making consistent minimum payments, and that does help clear up your credit. The other thing is you can do a loan consolidation where you could get enough to pay off your student loan plus pay off your uh, other debts, credit cards and stuff, and then you would just be making one payment to whoever the loan originator is, and that would be less interest and probably less money totally out of your budget than you had been paying when you're paying each one of these separately. And then all of your accounts are current. It looks good, and that does help build up, make your credit bureau report look good. The other thing is, sometimes if you want to buy a house, you think your credit's not that great, and it may not be, but you may have a better chance of buying a home than you would, or buying a condo than you would to rent. Because sometimes they'll run your credit bureau report for a rental and they'll say no. But you can have that same credit bureau, what is it, FICO score, whatever, and be able to buy a home because the bank looks at the house as collateral. Whereas when you're renting, the apartment is not your collateral, it's the collateral of the owner. So those are things to keep in mind. Like I said, I haven't really had to deal with these things in a long time because I've stopped working in collections back in the 90s, the 1990s. But I don't know those policies still work, but I know there's still credit counseling services. And I also know that a house is a collateral, and you may be able to qualify for a mortgage before you can qualify to do a rental. That's how it is. All right. So think about it, especially since you've had a job that you've been able to hold down a job for many years, you know, even though you may not love your job, your credit bureau report isn't going to reflect that. It's just going to say this person has been employed by the same employer for this amount of time, and that shows reliability. Okay. And also sometimes you can write a letter or some statement to add to your credit bureau report in case there's something that needs to be cleared up. Maybe you had financial difficulties because of a divorce or, whatever. You can make your statement on that will be part of your credit bureau report. So whoever pulls it up will, if they want to look, they'll see what your version of the events are. So just some things to keep in mind. All right, so while I was doing all of that talking, I was doing a spread for you, which was not the intent at all, but I just went on with it. So let's see what we got here. This is a regular Rider-Waite spread with Rider-Waite cards. First card that came up here for you was the Seven of Cups. All right, so this talks about having options, trying to make a decision, but it's in the reverse. So this talks about having made a decision already. The card that was crossing that was the Seven of Swords. So this talks about maybe walking away from something. This could be walking away from your job. It could be walking away from a relationship. So maybe this is talking about having made a decision to walk away from your work or your relationship. The next card that came up for you here was the Sun. And this talks about new beginnings. This talks about happy outlooks, happy future, healing, bright days. But this was in the reverse. And this was something that you've gotten over. So maybe this has to do with your relationship, and maybe you're together. You felt like you were each other's sunshine, maybe, and that not being in that relationship has made you sad. But you can have a new beginning. It's just coming slowly because you're blocked, because you're sad. The next card here for you was the Page of Pentacles. And this was in your recent past. So you may have heard something about another job, and maybe you heard something about money, or maybe you got messages about money. Could have been about your credit score. And the next card that you got here was the Knight of Pentacles. So this is talking about going forward with career plans, trying to work on your career, thinking about your money, thinking about your learning, thinking about your everything that has to do with work and money, income, all the things that you were asking about. So it's showing up that those are the things that's on your mind. So maybe you got a message, or you found out something about your financial status that concerned you, and then you have made a decision to start working on that, which is what you have done. The next card here is the Three of Swords. So this could be talking about not being happy where you are, maybe. I'm getting the feeling that if you leave your job, there's going to be some sadness associated with that. I think it's saying that this was not what you expected, that the time and the effort that you put into this work, this job, it's kind of broken your heart, that you're not feeling fulfilled, that you don't feel that there's any expansion, that you don't feel like you don't feel appreciated, and you just feel like there's no future, like there's no growth for you, and it's weighing heavy on you. Next card that was here was the Six of Coins in reverse. So maybe you don't feel like you're making that you're being paid fairly for the work that you're doing. The next card here said, the Magician again, you have all the tools that you need to fix this and to make things work out for you. You have the tools, or you are obtaining the tools to get you to where you feel empowered again. The next card you got here was the Fool. This talks about new beginnings, going forward, leaving the baggage behind, and starting a new adventure. And the next card you got here is the Lovers. This is a 6 also. So I think this is saying that where you go, the next position that you take or whatever you decide to do in your career is going to be good. You're going to make the money that you want to make. You're going to feel balanced. You're going to feel happy. You're going to love it. I think that's what it's saying. That you need to just go ahead and strike out, go forward. If it's going to school or putting out your resume, going on interviews, but there can be a new start. You have all of the tools that you need spiritually, educationally, experience, everything that you need in order to get a fresh start and be successful in that endeavor. This could also be talking about heartbreak in your relationship, which could have been why you left. Maybe it was midnight, get down before you get burned by that candle. Third party relationship, perhaps. And maybe there was a divorce. And maybe you feel like you didn't get what you were entitled to, or it wasn't a fair decision, or maybe you're not getting alimony, or maybe you're not getting the child support that you should be getting. But again, you have the ability to fix this. And you are going to have a new beginning where you will be able to find love, whether it be with your ex again or someone new. All right, so going to take a look at the life purpose oracle card to see if we can get any advice about what it is that you could be doing next, other options for your career or for going back to school. So let's see if we can get some life purpose guidance. And these cards are by Doreen Virtue. So let's see if we can get some information about your life purpose. All right. Time to decide. Make a decision based on your heart's true desires. So what is it that you really wanted to do when you were a little girl? Is that what you're doing right now? If it's not, then maybe you can see whether or not there's a way for you to do that. Is it possible? You have all the tools. I think you even know where to go. Let's see if there's anything else. Time to decide. Okay. Well, all right. This card came up talking about nutrition. So you said that you were already in the medical field. Maybe there's something that you would be doing that had to do with dietary work, being a nutritionalist. It could talk about cooking, restaurant work. Restaurant work could be a little, mm, to own a restaurant could be a little precarious because those are the most businesses that don't, that fail. Restaurants come and go. But you could go back to school and become a chef. Now that's something. Just to tell you, example, my mother was a nurse for years. That's how she raised us. And when she finally retired, she went back to school and became a pastry chef. She works in a bakery now. And she went to school she went to culinary arts school and she got certified or whatever you get in culinary arts, and she is a pastry chef. That's something that she always wanted to do. My mother is the best cook and bake. She can put anything together. And that's what she decided to do. And so now she does things more professionally and, more, like they would want in a bakery and stuff. She's not making the stuff that she used to make us in order to make sure that our little bellies were full and stop, being hungry and whatever. Um, she would make all kinds of concoctions and they were all great. When she was a teenager, my uncles tell this story. She was a teenager and she was always a good cook, and she had baked a fruit cake. And I guess she left it in the oven too long and she thought it was spoiled. So she turned and threw the fruit cake into the garbage. And this is like one of those, the West Indian fruit cakes, the black cake, right? My uncle, with no shame, said that he dived into that garbage because he knew it was clean because they had just taken out the garbage and it was a clean bag that she had just thrown that cake in. And he went into that garbage and he picked that cake out and he sat down and ate all of it. And he said it was delicious. It's just it was she felt it was overdone, and so she tossed it out like nothing. He said he dove into that garbage and he got it and he sat down and ate it, and she just went on to start baking another one, start all over again, like it was nothing. So getting back to you. I'm saying that she had that career. She was a nurse for years. She took care of her patients. She did private duty. She worked in hospitals. She was a nurse. That's what she learned to do. Um, when she graduated high school, she graduated from a vocational school here in New York, and she was already a licensed practical nurse when she graduated. And then she continued on that career, and that career enabled her to raise 4 children and give us a decent life and instill good values in us and all of that. And as soon as she was able to retire from all those years as a nurse, old enough to collect her Social Security at the time, which is why she retired, she went back to school and got her license to be a pastry chef. And she's still doing it to this day, and she loves it. So that might be something that you might want to look into. The next card that fell for you here was animals. You understand animals and communicate with them intuitively. Trust your inner guidance as animals are part of your life's work. So maybe you're interested in veterinary arts or zoology. I don't know, but if you are, it's saying that you can put those tools to work. There are people who work as animal trainers, training people's dogs. Um, there are people who do pet therapy. Um, there may be something about that you might be well suited for, and you don't know because maybe you haven't looked into it, or maybe you do know. So let's look up what's animals. This says that you drew this card because your life purpose involves working with animals. You love them and they love you. You understand and appreciate their kind and gentle hearts, and you frequently stand up for their rights. In fact, you can feel and hear communications from living creatures. This card is a validation for you to trust these intuitive insights and your inner guidance about ways to connect to the animal kingdom. Any career that you get involved in will benefit from adding animals into the mix. For instance, having a pet on site at your store or at your office will open everyone's hearts and bring joy to all. You may find yourself doing charity or volunteer work on behalf of animals, including rescuing them at shelters or bringing awareness to their rights. With your keen animal communication abilities, you may also enjoy one-on-one work as a caregiver. The list of careers in this field is vast, so be sure to spend times outdoors in nature and give considerable thought to your options. So, if that's something that interests you, go for it. If that's something that you might be interested in, do that. If you open up your own business, I think it's advising you to have a pet. So maybe get a bird, a cat, fish, something in your office or around you. Again, that also could be at your job now if you're able to. Maybe you could bring a fish or a bird or something into your office. Maybe that'll make you feel better about your day. Okay, let me look at time to decide. Your angels ask you to be honest with yourself and them about your dreams and desires. What do you want? What do you wish to change? What are you waiting for? Allow yourself to acknowledge your genuine feelings. Have the courage to admit your dreams. This card indicates that if you can dream it, you can do it. The angels are encouraging you to explore all options and take charge of your life. After all, your work comprises a major portion of your daily activities. You, like everyone, deserve to spend your time in meaningful and enjoyable ways. You deserve to have a career that brings you satisfaction. Not just financial satisfaction, of course, yes, but that makes your heart happy. Even myself, I guess I could tell about myself too, because I retired from a job that I hated every day, but I appreciated the financial stability that it brought to my home and my household. It enabled me to raise my children and to give them a really stable lifestyle and a beautiful home and um, safety. And then I decided after I retired that I was going to do what I loved, which is what I do. So maybe have faith. Your prayers are manifesting. Remain positive and follow your guidance. Of course, you're Sagittarius. You can do anything that you put your mind to and that you pray about and that you put your heart to and that you ask the Creator to help you do. When you ask for guidance, you'll get it because you're open to it. Have faith. But you can always change careers. You're still young enough to do that. But I think what it's saying is that you should follow your heart's desire. Not just get a job just because you want to get a new job. Not relocate just because you want to relocate, even though relocation probably will give you what you're looking for. All right. And that could be what you're being told is a good thing for you to do, relocate to another state or another town. I think that the spirit is saying that that's fine. As long as you have faith, you're going to accomplish your goals. You're going to get it together. You've taken the steps to do so. Another one, make a decision. Feeling stuck or indecisive, listen to your intuition and make a decision. Okay, you've gotten that twice, basically. Time to decide and make a decision. All right, so I think it's telling you that you know what to do. Follow your intuition and have faith. Have faith in your intuition and have faith in your spirit guides and have faith in yourself. You'll be able to accomplish what it is that you set out to do. Just decide, okay, I'm going to go back to school. Do it. Okay, I'm going to move to another state, another town. Do it. All right, so let's see what we can get from the Native Spirit Oracle and see if we can get some messages about what you should be doing going forward. Some guidance, some advice, either what you should be doing or how you can go about making a decision. Okay, so can I get some guidance for our Sagittarius female client who is trying to make a decision about her future? Which way to go? And she just wants to know that the decisions that she's going to make are going to be in her greater good. Vision Quest. Oh, they're being funny. Vision Quest. All right, let's see what that's talking about. Vision Quest. Okay. Sacred Seeker. Take time away from people and situations. Step back. Withdraw. Inner truth is emerging in stillness, but first you need to retreat. Know that you're guided. Oh, that's not too close. Know that you're guided. Look for answers in different ways. The answers are around you. Watch for signs in the coming day. Trust that your life is being directed. The Native Spirit wants you to know that in Earth-based cultures, larger questions about life are often answered on vision quests or solo retreats in nature. Questions such as, who am I? What am I meant to do with my life? What is my mission and my purpose in life? Are often answered on quests of various kinds. Even if you don't have burning questions, when this card chooses you, it's telling you to take time away from your ordinary life. Take time to explore the depths of your soul. Your soul knows the truth. Take time in quietude to discover what it is. The answers to your questions are all around you, but you must be still to hear these messages. The journey is to spend time alone, preferably in nature, without your cell phone and the internet, and even without pencil and paper or book. Simply be. Listen to the world around you. Be still. Watch for signs. And open your heart to receive messages from the divine. Okay, so I think it's saying you need to do some meditation. Maybe you need to find a sacred space in nature. Maybe you might need to go camping or go on vacation to the beach, Bahamas, Barbados, Costa Rica, wherever, to get away from everybody so that you can think clearly and make a decision about your life going forward. And the answers will come to you when you do that, and you'll get it from your intuition. If you can't go away anywhere, then I would go outside in nature and find a place that you can be still and quiet, maybe by a lake, by a beach, by a pond, by a waterfall, whatever, if you have that near you. If not, just find a place that you feel is peaceful in nature. And if you can't find that, then find a church or some sanctuary. But I think that it's asking you to find a place in nature. It could be in your backyard without everybody being out there with you by yourself. And sit down and pray and ask your guides, ask your ancestors what it is that they will have you to do. When you go to sleep at night, leave a piece of paper and a pen by your bed and write down the thoughts that you get in the morning. Or make a note to yourself on your cell phone about the dreams, what you can remember of your dreams, if they're vivid dreams. But if you don't remember your dreams, what's the first thing that you focus on when you wake up? Or what brilliant idea comes to you early in the morning while you're laying there before you start getting up about your day? Pay attention to those things. Keep a record of that. And maybe after the end of the week, you'll see. I'm being told 7 days. Okay, 7 days. Give it 7 days of consistently tuning in to your dream messages. And at the end of the 7 days, you'll figure out what spirit has for you to do, what they would direct you to do. I think that you'll find your answers if you have faith. It's already there. You just have to have confidence to go for it. Go to school, move to another state, change jobs, get your credit together. You have decided that this was going to be a year that you were going to do those things that were going to empower you for your future. And so that's what you're going to do. If you're able to get a loan to clear up that debt consolidation, maybe you won't be able to also pay off the student loan, but maybe you could consolidate all the other debts plus the student loan. If you can get extra money from that, a consolidation loan, perhaps you can start putting that towards an IRA or some kind of an investment towards your future for your retirement. What do you got? Another 12 years, 15 years? You got time. And if you can't afford to do that or you don't think you can, start putting money away in a savings account, a credit union. Some places they're not going to charge you a monthly fee for having an account. So that even if you put away $25 a week or $50 every 2 weeks or whatever you can afford to put away that you won't touch, start putting it away. Have it come directly out of your account, direct deposit it to a savings account. Find a credit union. Because when you start an account with a credit union, you can get a mortgage through a credit union. And you may not have to be a member of that union. Maybe you just have to be friends or family of someone in the credit union, and they can get you to open it. They can enable you to open your own account based on them bringing you in. Depends on how they work in your community. Okay, so I'm going to get a card for you from the numerology deck. See if there are other any advice. Okay. 66. Healing. Healing. Okay, well, that's a master number. And again, this is a master year. So this will be the year for you to heal, for you to do all the things that you're talking about doing, getting your life together, getting things in order, fixing things, healing things, solving things, figuring out what went on with you and your ex and healing that to bring you forward to what it is that you're supposed to do. Okay, this card indicates a time to focus on your healing abilities and being of service to others. By drawing this card, you're being encouraged to expand your understanding of the healing arts and in many ways and many different ways to heal. Perhaps you feel drawn to Reiki or physical therapy, homeotherapy, acupuncture, nursing, counseling, or life coaching. Whichever path you choose, it's time to set the wheels in motion. This card may also indicate a need to receive body work such as Reiki, acupuncture, cognitive behavioral therapies, or herbal medicine to help shift any stagnant or toxic energies. Your energy field absorbs and stores energy from other people, electrical equipment, every illness and trauma in your surroundings, and your own negative thoughts and emotions. Therefore, it's important to clear your aura regularly to elevate your health and well-being and your overall quality of life. In order to improve your current situation, they're encouraging you to expand and understand your understanding of the healing arts. You're an energetic being with a natural ability to heal. So when you focus on being of service, the universe will guide you where you're needed most. Send the attention to heal or be healed, and you will be shown the next logical step. As I heal myself and others, I raise the vibration of the world. So perhaps you do need to go back to school. Perhaps you do need to go, maybe take veterinarian courses, all right? Or being a nutritionalist. Maybe going to school to become a chef and becoming someone's personal chef. There are endless possibilities. Learning how to do massage therapy, Reiki, acupuncture. As long as you're open, you have the world at your feet. You are ready for a new adventure, and you have access to the tools that you need in order to make your dreams come true, whether it be healing for yourself or you healing other people. But I'm thinking that this could be your time. I know it is. I know this is your time, and that you're going to make the best decision that you could possibly make in order to obtain your goals and secure your future. All right, let's get one more message from you from Iyanla Van Zant cards. And thank you so much again for the opportunity to do this reading for you. This says, there are times when I need to be alone. There are times when I need to be alone. That's talking maybe about going on that vision quest. Until today, you may have believed that being alone was bad or frightening. Just for today, allow yourself to explore the possibilities and opportunities that being alone offers you. I say. Okay, well, thank you. I hope that this resonated. I hope this was helpful for you, both parts. And please get back to me and let me know how it's going, how it goes, and if I can be of any further assistance to you, thank you so very much. And I'll be speaking to you soon. Bye.